most influence? Who is it that through all of your learning and reading that you're able to pass on your knowledge to? Who is it that perhaps you have a good relationship with, that you can pass on your learning to that person? July 7th is the feast day of Boisil, who was the prior at Melrose when Cuthbert, who became Bishop of Lindisfarne, turned up there. Cuthbert, as he arrived at Melrose, got off of his horse, and standing at the door of Melrose was Boisil. And Boisil had a prophetic word and said, "Behold, here is a man of God." And through the years, Boisil had a wonderful influence over Cuthbert. Boisil became Cuthbert's Anam Cara in Cuthbert's early years. But that isn't all that Boisil did. He wasn't the only person, Cuthbert wasn't the only person that Boisil had an influence over. Boisil didn't just stay in the monastery. Boisil went out from the monastery. Throughout his life, Boisil would travel between towns and villages, preaching the word of God, going to the main places amongst the villages and sharing the word of God, not only in the words that he taught, but also in the actions and the life that he lived. He was one of those of the Celtic Saints, like many of the others, who didn't just speak the words, but actually lived them out. And so as he came to the local towns and villages in which he lived and he worked amongst the area from the monastic centre, he would wander the streets and he would not just preach but live and expect the people to hear him and also live that out. Bede tells us that as part of the traditions at that period of time, whenever a holy man walked into a village, that the people would rush to hear him and they would know the life that he lived, and they would eagerly and gladly live that life like the Holy Saint did. So whether you have an influence over people who come to you as an Anam Cara, or when you go out to spend time with people through the life you live, as well as the learning that you can pass on to others. In my meditations for Boisil in 40 Days with the Celtic Saints, it says this: Boisil was a teacher of great repute. People loved him and his manner, and he taught people only what he was living himself. Each of us has an influence upon others, even if we do not realize it. Whom could you influence? And to whom might you be the Anam Cara? Learning is all well and good, and living as a Christian is a wonderful thing, but actually to be able to be an inspiration to others, for your life to inspire others, that is a wonderful thing.